Hello there, Ben Bowers, the Spirit Specialist, and I am here today to talk to you about Three Wrens Bison Grass Gin. Bit unusual, Bison Grass normally associated with vodkas, but I have it on good authority that this is the first Bison Grass Gin that's produced in the UK, if not the world. Not sure about the world, but definitely in the UK. So quite unusual, but before I give you an indication of what it tastes like, let me give you a bit of information about the distillery itself. The Three Wrens distillery is based in Cholmondeley, Cheshire, and the only reason I know how to pronounce that word properly is thanks to the character created by Harry Enfield. It was founded in August 2019 by Nick Wadeson. Nick had previously worked as a mixologist, bar owner and brand manager before realising a long-term dream to create his own brand of gin. A handmade copper pot still named Valerie is used for production, and all of the gins are single shot, meaning dilution only uses water as opposed to a combination with a neutral spirit. And each batch they run produces around 100 bottles. As well as an original dry gin, Three Wrens also features a range of different flavour additions. These are created by macerating various ingredients in the wheat-based spirit before re-distilling to gin. Those ingredients in the main are locally sourced from the fields and forests surrounding the distillery. Three Wrens Bisongrass Edition is bottled at 41.5% and uses 100% organic bison grass, which is also known as sweet grass, that has been grown from seed at the distillery before harvesting and drying. It's vapour infused through distillation alongside other botanicals such as apple mint, lemon thyme and fresh limes, and then more dried grass is macerated in the finished gin for additional flavour. Right then, so what does it taste like, I hear you ask? So I have a miniature of the bison grass as well, because this is a full unopened bottle for people to buy on the shelf. And again, as with the rest of the Three Wrens range, a really distinctive bottle, lovely frosted glass, looks fantastic on the shelf. You can see it there next to the apple crumble, which I have just done a video for and I'm hoping you've already watched. But I have a miniature, so I'm going to take the top off and get some in a glass. Now, I really like bison grass vodka. There's one called Zubrovka that is fairly popular. This might have been the glass that I've already tried, so I'm going to try and change it for the one that is actually clean, because that's probably going to help me get some proper flavours out of it. So yeah, I really like bison grass vodka. Zubrovka is probably one that most people will have come across if you've seen it. I think it is in supermarkets, but it's a sweet grass-based vodka. Zubrovka was one that had a stem of the grass inside the bottle as well. Quite a sweet but almost fragrant flavour to it as well, and just one that ticks a lot of boxes for me. I absolutely love it. So when I saw that Three Wrens were doing a bison grass gin, I was intrigued because I wanted to see how it compared to the vodka. Vodka being quite cleaner as a spirit, it allows that bison grass to shine through. Whereas with gin, you've got that juniper element to bear in mind. In order to be a gin, it has to have juniper in it. So is the juniper going to combat the bison grass, or is it going to work with it? With the other elements that they are including in, and I've got my notes down here to remember what they are. We've got apple mint, lemon thyme, fresh lime. Are those other elements that probably wouldn't be involved in a bison grass vodka production? Are we going to start to kind of pull away that bison grass flavour in terms of it's, you know, more of a gin and the bison grass is just kind of there? So I have had this once before, but a while back, and I can't actually remember what it tastes like. So this is almost like having it new to me. So on the nose, so colour wise, there is actually a slight colour to it. I don't know if you're going to pick it up, but it's not a clear spirit. There is a slight yellowy hue to it. Very, very subtle, but definitely there. On the nose, lovely and fresh, slightly minty, but it's a sweet mint. Now there is apple mint that's used in this as a botanical, so that's probably helping what's coming through, but bison grass is a really difficult thing to describe in terms of flavour to somebody else, because it is slightly sweet, but there is, it's going to sound dumb, slightly grassy. Well, yeah, Ben, it's called sweet grass, but it's a slightly sweet sort of hay grass, green field element to it. But there is a slight mintiness to it as well. It's really fresh. This is ideal for spring and particularly summer. Sitting out, this really nice and chilled in summer, in your back garden, on a balcony, on a beach, wherever. You know, it feels like it needs hot weather. It's lovely and fresh. You do get a grassiness like fresh cut grass, but it's that sweet element that comes through. It's not vegetal. It's very fresh. There's citrus in there. There's definite lime, but it's fresh lime zest rather than lime juice. It's not particularly sour. And you know, lemongrass, if you like Thai food, if you like lemongrass in your food as well, it's not too dissimilar to that sort of sweet, citrusy, grassy type of feel that you get with lemongrass. And that nose absolutely carries on to the palate. Now, I've just done the video for the apple crumble, and on the nose of the apple crumble, it was very intense, very clear apple crumble on the nose, and a bit more subdued on the palate. This is almost the other way around. The nose is fresh and tangy and spring-like, and on the palate it continues, and it's almost ramped up a little bit more. There's more intensity on the palate than there is on the nose. That grassiness is coming through. It really is kind of like lemongrass. There's that touch of mint that's coming through, but again, it's sweet mint. It's kind of like what is it? Trebor soft mints, the green ones. It's kind of that sort of mintiness. So it's what, spearmint, not peppermint. I can never remember which one they are. But there is a definite kind of like, there's mint, there's citrus, there's lemon, there's lime, there's grassiness. There is, you know, this bison grass element really comes through, and it's actually supported really well with the other botanicals that they've put in. Now, I can imagine some people would try this blind and wouldn't instantly go bison grass. They would go, oh, is it a lemon and lime gin or something like that? And that's fine, because bison grass it's an intense flavour, but it is comparable with other ones, so you could easily mistake it for other flavour profiles. But it's definitely there, having had bison grass vodkas before. Right on the end, just popping up every now and again in the background, you get that grassy element. And it really, just as a finish for a gin, is unusual. Most gins tend to kind of die away a little bit quickly because it's just the nature of the beast, but to have a lengthy finish on a gin is impressive stuff. In terms of what you'd mix this with, certainly you know, pretty much any tonic's going to work. I definitely put the Fever-Tree Mediterranean with this, but it's got that light citrusy zestiness that will go with pretty much any tonic. I really want to try this as a gin martini because I think that zestiness but that slight sweetness is gonna, so it's not going to be an ultra dry martini. You're going to get a slight sweetness from it as well. So any gin based cocktail, I think this will work absolutely brilliantly. Treat this as a citrusy gin, but just with a slightly unusual note to it that is lifting it above other citrusy gins that are just using lemons and limes. This bison grass element adds another dimension and makes things really, really interesting. It's really well made. It's got a lovely mouthfeel to it as well. I'd be really interested to know where they take the cut in terms of their distillation process, because there's a nice weight to it as well, particularly with this. It's not quite an oiliness, but it has a silky creaminess to it that is supporting those zesty flavours really, really well. And yeah, again, really well made. I'm so impressed with what Three Wrens are doing in terms of the quality of the gin. This is unusual, and I know there'll be some people going, I don't know what bison grass is. They'll see it on the shelf and go, bison grass, never heard of it. But actually, if you like a fresh spring summer gin that has, you know, if you like lemongrass, if you like lime, if you like mint, that sort of flavour for drinking in the sun, either on its own, out the fridge or freezer, or in a long drink, this will do you absolutely brilliantly. It's really, really good stuff. I highly recommend it. It looks beautiful on the shelf, so get a bottle. It is available through our web store, www.spiritspecialist.com. We do offer nationwide UK delivery, and it's also available on the shelf in store, because you're more than welcome to pop in. I do have a little bit of that miniature left, so if you did want to try some, you could maybe have a little nip out of this as well. If I've got any left, you're more than welcome to. So yes, Three Wrens Bison Grass Vodka, excellent stuff. Highly recommend it. That is me done. I shall see you at the next video. Cheers.